young boy, Jesus knew that the Jewish people were without sin if John was Elijah. He's the one clearing the way. That also means the angel has already been there. That's good. I like that. That is why he did not mention the angel of the covenant. He cannot die for the sins of the Jewish people if they are sin-free. Which means there was nothing to transfer to the Gentiles if he left the Jews for the Gentile. And of course he didn't. Although they doctored up one of their books. They repeat that, you know what they say? They deny the covenant. They say, well, the new covenant. They say, well, then the first covenant must not be any good. Why is he making this a new covenant? Because he repeats it. I'll be your God, you'll be my people. There's more to it than that, but they do. That's what they say. They just decide God, there is no new covenant, and he sent us Jesus. Well, Jesus wasn't sin-free anyway. Again, I have the top 10 lies. I think I have it in a chapter we'll get to eventually. But I covered it in the last tape, if I remember right. Or the one before. Book, chapter. So anyway, he doesn't mention the angel of the covenant. There has to be a reason for it. The writer knew. How does he know? Nobody thinks the book of Matthew was written by Matthew, or whoever that came from. No, that was Luke the historian. The time to come of the new covenant is when the land blooms again, and when the city Jerusalem shall be rebuilt as it is today for the Lord's return. A time to come when the Jewish people are never uprooted or overthrown again. Between 68 and 70 Common Era, the Jewish people revolted against Rome and were defeated, murdered, crucified, and forced to leave the Promised Land. Or lands of Abraham, beginning the diaspora, the Roman dispersal. The Jewish people were overthrown and uprooted after the death of John the Baptist. Well, see, that's why he can't be Elijah. If he was Elijah, he brings the covenant of friendship, or he clears the way. Is this right? We'll fix it up. Anyway, they're not supposed to get defeated after Moshiach, who comes as the righteous servant, Elijah, everybody, the four righteous men come. And clearly the four righteous men weren't there. See, a time is coming. Oh, this is the description from Jeremiah 31. See, a time is coming, declares the Lord, when the city shall be rebuilt for the Lord from the tower of Hanel to the corner gate. And the measuring line shall go straight out to the Gareb hill, and then turn towards Goa, and the entire valley of the corpses and ashes, and all the field as far as the Wadi Kidron, that's a dry river, a wadi, and the corner of the horse gate on the east shall be holy to the Lord. They shall never be uprooted and dispersed again. Time is coming. Cheer. I was a title lawyer for oil and gas. I had to go out and read old instruments, and I had to check every description. And that's as bad as they come, trying to figure out exactly what he's saying here. But I know this, Jerusalem is twice the size of what it was in antiquity. So I figured we got it covered. It's not the first time I've done that as a title lawyer. Yeah, beginning at the elk tree by the big rock. It's like, you kidding, right? Well, it's not going to help. See. You want me to carry on into the next one? Chapter 17. This is going to be 16 and 17 together. There's no question. It's getting blurry again. You know what? I'm stopping right there. I'm not dictating on this thing in that blur. I don't know why. I've ordered a new memory card. Very expensive one. It's supposed to have a ton of room on it. And I'm either going to get it tomorrow or Monday. It's being shipped. Okay. I'm going to pick up 17 with the... as soon as I clear this one, all right, I have one other disc I can use, but it's doing the same thing. Now it's clear. Okay, let's try to do it. But it's going to go off at a half hour. Okay, then I'll turn it back on, so there'll be a part 1 and a part 2 for 16 and 17 dictated together. The greatest lie, this is what I told you, you just got to see this one. The greatest lie and deception in the history of mankind is in the Christian New Testament. And it is. Any question about it. The New Testament of Christianity has many statements of the prophecy of the Hebrew Bible being satisfied or fulfilled in the stories and accounts of Jesus. Not one is true. It is arguably the most deceptive book ever written, based on the billions of people who have been deceived. The descriptions are written in such a manner as to keep the reader from verifying the referenced prophecy or prophet. The deceptions are bolstered by the reader's belief that a Bible certainly does not contain lies and deceptions. You just don't expect it. The book of Matthew, which begins the New Testament, has many statements of prophecy fulfilled that are false. Either it is not prophecy, the verses and their meaning have been changed, or the prophecy is not stated in full, leaving out the parts that are not fulfilled. And rarely does he tell you the name of the prophet being referenced. The prophecy of Zechariah chapter 9, verses 9 and 10 is a good example. Two things. The writing of Matthew and how he changes up the prophecies, and how the Christians change in general, since they refuse to recognize this lie and clearly a deception. Maybe they don't see it, but if they don't, it's because they're blind to it and got no business saying a Hebrew Bible is prophetic of him. This is not prophetic of it. This guy's not unblemished. Listen to this. This lie comes straight from the lips of Jesus. The prophecy of Zechariah 9, 9, and 10 is a good example. Jesus changed verse 10 from defeating Rome to being executed by Rome. His whole phrase, I'm going to ride this ass up here to Jerusalem, and there the Gentiles shall spit on me, scourge me, put me to death. But on the third day I shall rise. They did. They absolutely, you talk about, like, they've taken the word where, I guess it's in Romans, where